Now we're in the section where we look outside Photoshop. Okay, this is not going to be a technical session, but it's about those tiny, tiny details that you need to know, sources for inspiration, some things that you can learn beforehand. These are the tips which were missing when I started as a designer. I didn't really know that all these sources existed over the internet. And I don't want you to find them. I want them to be listed in front of you so that you can jump on and learn very, very quickly. So if you get, suppose a project, you have an event coming up and they say that, okay, we need a poster and you know all the tools. Assume that you know Photoshop very, very properly and you know all the tools, you know all the effects, but you don't have the perfect idea. I know what to do, but I still don't have that clear image. I need some sort of inspiration in order to work on a blank canvas. So, what we'll do is I list out the most popular inspiration sources or places where you can get elements or ideas or some sort of clue in order to begin your project. So, the first one we'll look for is Behance. And this is the best place because there are professional designers who upload their work on this website, and you can see, there is so many things that you can look at, and each and every one of them is so unique that you can actually get inspired. For example, this is some random pose that I'm pick, and you see how they are trying to make their idea. So for example, this is a TED concept and they've used the colors black and red because that's what's the most common thing that you see in all the TED commercials. So I'll tell you something very interesting. This is made on Photoshop and it's just a red background and black font on it, and you see this mock-up. This is not real. So if you're thinking that they actually printed this poster and placed it inside this hoarding and and a guy went and clicked a picture of it, no. This is called a mock-up. Okay. So this was some different Photoshop file and they just put the poster here in Photoshop so that we can get an idea of how this will look when it is actually printed on hard paper. This too, they're all just photoshopped images, and most probably I think this is photoshopped as well. This could be real, but it's possible on Photoshop as well. But this is most probably a real picture because I can see the kind of shadows that they have. So they might have printed this on t-shirts and made them wear it. And this too is a mock-up. This is not a real laptop. They have just placed a screenshot. So you see, there are different kinds of ideas that you can get for free. And for example, if I'm a guy who needs to do a UI UX project, I need to make a user interface. So what I'll do is I'll go on search and just look for user interfaces. And trust me, there is a lot to look for. There is so many professional people who upload their work regularly and you get to know what the trends are. So for example, this is a post that says 2018 design trends. So they actually tell you what's going on. So for example, this is the dual tone concept that's been going on. It says duotones, and this is very, very, very in, like this is the trend. Okay, using extremely contrasting colors, using colors that people used to hate, like who would use green and blue and orange, all these sharp colors, but they are in the trend right now. So this is very, very easy in Photoshop. Okay, making all this is not very difficult, but to get the ideas, to get that concept in your mind, that comes from practice. Okay, because might know, as a designer, I'm looking at this picture and I know that this is very easy to make, but I don't have this idea. I don't get the idea that I should type the word kiwi and put a gradient inside of it. These are the ideas that you get only after getting inspired. So Behance is a very, very good place to get inspired. The second website that I want to talk about is Dribbble, with three B's. Okay, so Dribbble is also like Behance, so you can look for different kinds of concepts. So you have two websites in your mind right now. One is Dribbble, one is Behance, and the third one is called FreePic. So this is the place where you can actually download free graphic resources. So what are free graphic resources? For example, if I type the word icons, so imagine FreePic as being sort of like Google Images, but specifically for designers. So if I want an icon for one of my posters, I go on FreePic and I search for the word icons, and I get all these wide range of options that I can choose. So you see, all these icons are the kind of stuff that we see on brochures and stuff. So you can't really go on Google Images and get this kind of material because these are free to download. Moreover, they provide you the Photoshop file and the Illustrator file. So this becomes very, very easy. I'll tell you how to use these files later on, but just keep these three sources in your mind: Behance and Dribble for inspiration, and FreePic for free graphic resources.